everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today's limited edition exclusive for STAMPtember 2024 is from Mama Elephant. It is called Christmas Block Set. Now, in addition to the Christmas set, which I'm going to show you here as two fantastic sentiments and a darling image or images, and coordinating die, there's also the holiday block set that came out as part of the September Mama Elephant release. We're going to use that to create a gift tag. We're going to use both of these sets, pardon me, to create gift tags today. And I am using the Simon Says Stamp Basic Rectangles and Postage Frame set for my tags. And we're even going to incorporate the Sparkle and Shine stamp set also in the September Mama Elephant release. And I wanted to show this as a way that maybe it would inspire you if you don't pick up the STAMPtember release, but you love the look of this. There is another stamp set, or if you want to mix and match, if you do get the release and you want to mix and match, just to give some additional ideas for how to utilize this. Now, I am going to make these into tags today, but they're going to be substantial tags, not quite A2 sized, but still fairly large. Now, the reason I mention this is because everything about these could be a card without the hole that we add at the end. So if tags are not your jam, if you don't make tags, don't be discouraged, because you can take these ideas and use them for your cards instead. Just place this entire panel on your card front and you're good to go. So I am stamping the large block letters, that's why these sets are called block, onto some dolphin cardstock from Lawn Fawn. And I decided to do a base color today instead of white because I just kind of liked how this looked a little bit better. Then I am taking this Something Sparkly Inside sentiment that's in parentheses. That is from the Sparkle and Shine stamp set. Again, another September 2024 Mama Elephant release. And I've stamped that with lobster ink, and it's going to be right below our block greeting. And one of the reasons I wanted to utilize other products from the September release is because they're really made to all work together so beautifully. So we're going to give our trusty little clear marker spinner a spin, and we're going to start coloring. I will link to the marker spinner down in the description below in case you're interested. It is a $15 like Lazy Susan product from Target, and I absolutely love it. It holds all of my Olo markers. I am coloring in my greetings. Now you can see I did one off camera because this is a very coloring heavy project today. I say that I always think that STAMPtember feels very color heavy, and I suppose a lot of it is, but I think it only feels that way because card making does tend to be a lot of coloring. I think it feels that way because I do so many more cards and projects and videos for you guys than normal. I am doing a very modern color palette, reds, pinks, limey greens, and aquas, and all of my marker colors will be listed down in the description below for easy reference. I got smarter as I went, and I did all the red, all the pink, all the green, all the aqua. On the first background, be glad I didn't film that part because I literally went one by one, and then I thought, girl, what are you doing? That's going to take forever. Now, I will say this did not take that terrible long to color. The letters not really. I'm using 2 shades per color family. What really took most of the time coloring today is the 2 little scenes. There's a lot of little things going on. Now, if I'd only done one image, it definitely wouldn't have been as long. Are these going to be tags that you make for everybody? I don't know. If you love coloring, maybe. If you just like making a few of these tags each year and you want to be very thoughtful with who you give them to, maybe not. I like I make a lot of tags. As you guys know, one of the most often asked questions I get is, do you really give that many presents at Christmas? The short answer, absolutely not. I almost use them as decoration. I found these darling like $5 trays in the Target dollar spot a couple years ago. And I put my tags all in these trays and I set it out on the table when I gift wrap and I just pull from there. I've also given mini tags away. My daughter always takes a ton of them. She wants them to put on her packages and things. And a lot of times those are going to, her in-laws or whatever. So they're not even going to come back to me. I trained my family to take the tags off and not throw them away, but you can't guarantee that anywhere else. And I do cycle them out. I have some tags I've probably had for 6 or 7 years, but some of them are starting to look a little ratty, and I just cycle them out, or I use them as a display in the tray. There's nothing wrong with just having a beautiful tray of tags. I find it really inspiring. I leave it sitting out, like in my entertainment unit in the basement on one of the shelves and stuff, and it looks so pretty. It's just very festive. So the short answer is no. I gave you guys the long answer. I said I was going to do the short answer, but that's the long answer. I do not give that many gifts. But I did give some. I tied some to some neighbor gifts for my neighbor girls. Well, I'm not going to ask them to take the tags off and give them back or say, don't throw those away or whatever the case may be. I always kind of think of it as I make them for my enjoyment, and, when it's gone, it's gone. Special tags, I will tell you, I do not give away. There have been a couple of tags I've made over the years that I started off making them thinking I was going to use this for gift packaging. It's just totally my jam. It matches my wrapping paper, whatever. And ended up I couldn't part with it, and so it became a tree decoration. You can also take these tags that you make and love. I have a little mini tree, like a countertop tree in my craft studio that I hang. I do have a few little crafty or fun ornaments for that tree, and I have a few things that viewers and friends have made that I hang on my tree, but I also will hang some tags because they make me happy. They brought me so much happiness to make, and I love seeing them displayed that way. So that's another idea and another way to utilize your projects. I'm a big fan of surrounding yourself with things that make you happy. And I think we can probably all agree card making, paper crafting makes us happy. And as much as I love giving away cards, I send a ton out every month. I make a ton of cards, as you guys know. I send a ton off to Simon Says Stamp that I make for them. So I make a lot of cards every month. I probably make more than the average crafter. However, I have made a few over, the last few months or whatever, and you may notice them at times sitting behind me on my IKEA shelves. The ones that I made and I'm like, oh, I just love this so much, I will leave out for a little while before I eventually send them on or send them to others. But they bring me a lot of joy, as well as the joy that I hope they bring the recipient. So that's kind of my, I guess I'm getting a little philosophical today, but I just think surround yourself with the things you love. We love crafting. And as much enjoyment as we get giving it to someone, don't be afraid to do a little something for you as well. Tags can be a great thing for that because you can hang them on things and just use them for little displays, and they're very fun. As you can see, I am keeping that same color palette that I used for the block letters, but pulling in skin tones, hair, some grays, cool grays for shading beards and trims on hats and things like that. Neutrals for reindeers and critters. I did leave all of the coloring in. As I mentioned, it is rather long, but I know you guys love the coloring. That's probably why I felt like going off on my philosophical tangent about surrounding yourself with the things you love and love to create. But I just love all of the coloring. I've really been into my Olo markers. That is something else I want to talk about. So I've received a couple questions about the Olos. One of the main questions, and I've only got it a couple times, is, am I going to use Copics again? No. Is my short answer there. There is a longer answer. There is nothing wrong with Copics at all. They are a good product. I have switched for several reasons, and one, I personally like Olos better. I like how they color better. Two, there's no refilling. I did not have all the refills for my markers. Because of the age of my markers, I have had them, many of them, for quite a long time, like 15 years or so. They were not absorbing the refill that great, and because of that, I was having to refill constantly. I wasn't a fan of that, and so they were drying out all of the time. I found myself not wanting to use them, and Olos, you don't refill them, you just replace. And it's, as far as economical, it's very economical. I really, really like them, but I don't say that to influence you. If you have a whole set of Copics and love them, you absolutely use them. I just won't be using them, but you can find markers in the Copics that are very similar to what I'm using here. All the color combinations that I'm using, there are very similar Copic Copics colors, because I'm definitely not changing that. It's taken me a little bit to find those colors in Olo, but I'm definitely going to keep gravitating towards those same colors because that's what I like. So I know that that's disappointing for some who color with Copics, but just know that you can mix and match any alcohol ink marker, really. But if you want to fill in with some Olos and some Copics, they work together. I did that before I got many of the Olo markers, and it worked beautifully. No one would have ever known. So I am going to color in my little elf. One of the things I love about Mama Elephant is the fact that they're very consistent. That is something I super appreciate in a company. You'll notice that in a lot of the companies that I work with a lot, Lawn Fawn is another example, where they bring out critters in style, not in a completely random style. The elf, Santa, Mrs. Claus, the reindeer, these are all images that they have in their collection from past stamp sets. So if you want to mix and match, if you want to pull other things out, you can do that so easily. And I appreciate that because it just extends the life and the longevity of your images. So let's say you pick up this Christmas Block Party limited edition exclusive. There's nothing about it that says you have to use it with this grouping of images. Maybe you want to go to your set and you want to grab your little agenda Santas and little agenda reindeer, and you want to grab like one of the window grit dies from Mama Elephant, and you want to put your Block Party through part of that and then have the little agenda images in the windows. You can do that so easily. Or they have the new postage cover plate background. Same thing. You could put your little agenda images in some of those, but through some of the postage windows, you could do your Block Party over those. Or you could have the little critters and animals and images sitting on or standing on top of your greeting. The sky is the limit. I love that. I love that you can take elements from this new set and pair it with other things that you have in your stash. I also really love the block party style of letters as far as combining them with other small phrases and sentiments and things like that, like I did today with the something sparkly inside, because there's lots of different stamp sets from Mama Elephant with cute, like sentiment strip style sayings that will pair wonderfully with this and look amazing. So you can use, and you can then likewise use the image without the greeting. If you have a die cut greeting from Mama Elephant, or you want to use this with another stamp set sentiment, do that. There are I love that you can mix and match. Mix and matching, and I know I'm a broken record, it is literally my favorite thing. For example, in today's card, yes, my images are from Mama Elephant. My sentiments in this case are all from Mama Elephant, but I went and grabbed some other sets to pair with these, and then I grabbed 2 different dies from Simon Says Stamp to make my tag base. I didn't even, I didn't necessarily have to go to Mama Elephant for that, although you totally could. You could grab anything from there and make a tag from it. But in this case, I just very easily grabbed a couple of fun basic dies, grabbed a hole reinforcer from a tag set. It could be any tag set. I did link the Simon one that I used, but it could be any tag set. Punched a hole, and I have an instant tag that has a fun postage edge border. The postage is all the rage this year. So that was kind of fun, even though this die set is literally, I know by the label on my die set that this one is one of the OGs, because I don't use those labels anymore, and I haven't used them in quite some time. So I thought that was kind of funny, and they still have this die set. I still love it. And I feel like it's really in style right now. So it was perfect. But make a tag out of anything in any size. I also think you could make these kind of more like a postcard if you wanted to. Don't punch the hole in it. You could even maybe add like little cancellation and stuff. I'm thinking Waffle Flower obviously has some wonderful like little postage and cancellation that would pair cute. So does Paper Tray Ink. Those are 2 that I know of for sure. And you could make like a whole little set of vintage type postcards and tuck them into a bowl and into a display for Christmas. So different ways to use that. Back to other companies. So I made my own hole reinforcers from a tag set, punched a hole with a crocodile. We've got some Lawn Fawn twine to make this into a tag. I've used quite a lot of the Lawn Fawn twine in my projects this year. And then this ribbon is one of my favorites. It is the beautiful double-faced satin from Spellbinders, and it comes in tons of colors. Simon Says Stamp does carry it. I highly, highly recommend it. It ties beautiful bows, and then I am using a bow maker tool from my friend Chantal. She runs it. A cross stitch online shop. She also cuts wood pieces, and she has designed these wood bow makers. I can't recommend them enough. If you are like me and you struggle making bows, grab a bow maker, because you can make a perfect bow every time. I'll make them quick here on camera. I am filming for the holiday season. There will be a whole video tutorial in real time on making different size bows and how to use them for all kinds of decor and crafting and tag making and gift giving and all of that stuff. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming in October when I do my handmade holiday series. But you can see that I've really mixed and matched among many companies. Now, normally I probably wouldn't have stamped and colored my images on this postage background. Full disclosure, I originally thought that I was going to mat everything on white cardstock. And I was like, nope, we need a colorful mat for our tag base. So I didn't want to, get rid of this or hold on to it or whatever. It was from some Hammermill cardstock. So I simply stamped my images on it and utilized that piece of paper. Okay, there are coordinating dies for both of these. How much do we love that? So amazing. and we are going to cut these out. Thank you guys for also letting me talk. I know you guys have mentioned, I've asked, do you want me to play music during the coloring? And I've had a lot of no. We would rather you just talk about whatever. So that's what we went with today. You can see I have my mat, my postage frame mat out of Schoolhouse Red. And then my background panel with the block text is on that dolphin cardstock. And then our images are on white. Now I'm taking a black jelly roll pen and I added that detail into the eyes like I like to do. And I am going to go ahead and just glue my images flat to the tag. Because these are tags, I decided not to pop them up. There's nothing else on these that is going to be popped up, and it didn't feel natural for me. I'm sure that you guys are shocked. No foam. No foam was harmed in the making of these tags today. I don't know the last time I made something that didn't have foam on it. I really don't. That's funny. So now I am measuring on my panel. I want to get right in the center. So I'm just using the grid on my mat. And I'm measuring over, and I just want to make sure it's even. So I measured over like an inch, and then I would just go a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch until I had a little mark. And then I punched a hole. Now, what I should have done was glue this to my postage frame base and then punch the hole, but alas, I did not. So let me glue that down, and then I'm going to have to punch it again. I'm just going to use a little liquid glue. And you can see, without the hole in it, this would be the perfect card panel front. Pop it on a card. You could even put a little twine on it. You could add some gems. You could add some jewels. You could add a little ribbon, whatever the case may be, mat it on a colorful background, a white background, and it would be done. You'd have a beautiful card. So definitely, if tags, again, tags aren't your thing, make it a card. So I've punched little holes in this. This hole reinforcer die, I've die cut from white cardstock, actually just some of that leftover cardstock from where I colored my images. And this little die is from the nested tags from Simon Says Stamp. Also, that set's been out a long time as well, so you guys might have that. I also have one I love from Hero Arts, one from Waffle Flower. Those are both fantastic. Now I'm taking glossy accents and I'm going to apply that to the glasses and to Rudolph's nose. And I noticed, guess what I forgot to color? You guys were probably screaming at me during that part of the video that I didn't color in the presents in the toy bag. So I went ahead and did that real fast. I didn't notice it until this point in the creation of my tags. And I am going to go with some sparkle crystal lacquer from Hero Arts, and I'm going to add that to the star at the top of my tree. We're going to add it to the snowballs in the other image, the little bell at the end of the elf's hat. And that's going to give a sparkly raised image for all of those little pieces. Just little small things that you can do to dress up what you've just made. I didn't use foam, I didn't use gems or anything like that. I just didn't feel like it really needed it. I cut about 10 inches of white twine from Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to loop it through and knot the end. And I'm going to do this for both of them. There's a lot of different ways you could do this. You could do a lot of different colors. Ultimately, I decided to do white, and then I could add a pretty colorful bow. I almost added a white bow, and I'm glad I went with the aqua. It kind of matches the vibe of these tags better. Okay, so there's our two tags. Now I've got my bow tool, and I'm using the 2.5 inch bow. And I'm probably using about 12 inches of ribbon. I didn't measure it. I will measure it for you guys when I do that dedicated bow tutorial, but you just loop it around with a figure 8. I've done it quite a few times. And like I said, I'm going to do a whole video just for that. I'm going to just notch these ends, trim those down a little bit. And then my hack for attaching bows like this is to put a little liquid glue on the tag or the card or whatever it may be. place the center of the bow there, and then I take my reverse tweezers and use it as a clamp to hold it down and in place until the glue dries, and it's going to be wonderfully secure. So here I'm just doing another one real quick. Like to pull those tails to the back. I'm going to snip them while it's still on here. It might be easier to manipulate. Trying something new. And we're going to glue this one to the other tag. And that is going to be it, friends. Super fast, super easy. Let me glue this one on, and then I can show you both of the finished tags. I think the bow would be really cute at the bottom of this. If maybe do a little bit smaller one even. If you want to make this into a card instead, that might be a little adjustment that I would make instead of the tag. And there we go. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for the Mama Elephant limited edition exclusive for STAMPtember 2024, as well as the Mama Elephant September release, which is not limited. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new video. Thanks for watching!